Hi, my name is Cuc Vu, and I'm here with Teresa Anderson to interview her about the climate action. So can you introduce yourself and your role at COP29?
My name's Teresa Anderson. I'm the global lead on climate justice with ActionAid International, and I'm head of the delegation for our ActionAid team. We're an organisation working in more than 50 countries around the world, mostly on the front lines of climate impact. So we're really here to try to bring the message of climate affected communities right into the centre of climate talks.
Excellent. What would you say was the key goal for COP29?
It is vital that COP29 agrees a new climate finance goal that really does deliver and help the people of the Global South who are being hit first and worst by climate impacts. The new collective quantified goal on climate finance, NCQG is the acronym. It will be a very tough discussion, but it's absolutely critical that we get at least $1 trillion in grants for the Global South to pay for all the costs of recovering from climate disasters, preparing for future impacts, and also transitioning to greener pathways, because without this money the Global South cannot cope and cannot be part of the green transition to keep the planet safe.
Right, and you had mentioned that that's just a minimum, right?
That is a minimum. The fair number would be more in the realm of $5 trillion a year, because of all the years actually of climate impacts that the Global South has had to deal with. So $5 trillion is owed by the Global South, but $1 trillion a year would be a good start.
Great. And what would be needed to achieve this goal? Did I ask you that already?
No. Okay. Well, what we really need is for developed countries to recognize that they have to stop being all about climate talk. They have to, put their money where their mouths are, because otherwise, if they can't pay for climate action, there will be no climate action. And then we also need countries of the Global South who've been the strongest voices in calling for real climate finance to stay strong, to stay united, and help us deliver this goal together.
Great. And what are some barriers to achieving this goal?
The real barrier, of course, is the fact that the global north, the developed countries, are very reluctant to put forward the finance that is needed. What they're trying to do, in fact, is confuse everyone by talking about an investment goal rather than a climate finance goal of real grant money. And they want to use the climate crisis as a front to give more loans to the Global South that they then profit from with the interest, and to open the door for more investment for their own corporations. So it's a real cynical exploitation of the desperation of this planet, and this is the line they're pushing here in the negotiations.
And then, what can today's youth do to help fight against climate change, both locally as well as globally?
Well, of course, the youth are in this planet, and they inherit the planet of tomorrow. Their voices are absolutely critical to holding governments to account in their national context, leading and innovating climate action, implementing climate action, keeping each other safe and secure and responding to emergencies, because in the Global South, youth are, incredibly effective emergency response leaders as well. But really, then in this space, raising their voices and making sure that the world hears that moral argument for that climate finance.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.